So it was a regular day of high school and I just finished my last class. What do you think I was patiently waiting to do when I got home is whip out my phone, go on Pornhub, scroll for 2 hours, find the perfect video, whip out my schmeat, and the rest is history. Yeah man, I had a massive porn addiction. I would jerk my meat every single day until it looked like a fucking raisin. It all started pretty innocently with, normal porn, one girl, one guy, but then slowly as the years passed, I got a little unhinged, and the porn I watched also got more and more unhinged and fucked up. I'm not gonna go into detail of what I specifically watched on a Tuesday afternoon, but just know that it was bad. And I mean, because of all this, because of all this porn watching, of course your brain is going to be affected somehow, because I mean, you're not meant to be watching maybe more than two people fuck. I mean, that's just cuckish behavior. That's not good for your brain. I mean, you agree with that, right? I mean, that's really hard to disagree with that. It isn't good for your brain. And yeah, I mean, my brain got pretty fucked up. Now, I ended up viewing girls as, I didn't view them in a weird, rapey kind of way because of my porn damaged brain. In fact, I think it was more the opposite, and I actually put them on a higher pedestal than myself, which is why I had such low self-esteem growing up. And yeah, man, if you put every single girl you meet, or haven't even met, on a pedestal before you even speak to them, before you even know who they are, you already think that they know better than you, even when you haven't even spoken to them. That's serious self-esteem issues. That's exactly what I had for like 19, 20 years. And I realized this. I realized how bad porn was fucking me up. And yeah, I tried stopping multiple times, so I searched up like countless YouTube videos on how to do that and like start NoFap. And oh boy, NoFap. Now, let me tell you why NoFap is a whole bunch of bullshit. Now me seeing all these people online telling me that, oh, if you're not on NoFap, you are a less of a human being, or whatever the fuck. Like, if you aren't on this exact number, if you don't know what NoFap is, by the way, it's just a streak, basically. It's a daily streak of how many days you went without jerking your gherkin. So these guys would be like, on day 91, day 132 of NoFap. And at the end of the day, I mean, they treat it as a game, right? And they treat it as if they're thinking about it 24/7, which they are. Now, I also happened to be on that NoFap game back then as well, but it didn't end too well. Because, I mean, I got obsessed. I got obsessed with keeping a score. I got obsessed with making sure that number gets higher and higher. You might think that's a good thing, but in reality, that'll make you overthink and think about it more, which will make you relapse in a way. Because if you do relapse on, like, let's say day 90, and the next day you're on day 1, you're gonna feel like shit. Like you don't even belong on this earth. You're gonna feel horrible about yourself. Whereas someone who isn't on NoFap, but they still didn't jerk off for 90 days, they're not gonna feel anywhere near as bad because they didn't keep up this little game, a little fucking number in their fucking head, or worse yet, on a fucking whiteboard in their room. And since they didn't keep this score in their head like 24/7, obviously they're not gonna feel anywhere near as bad when they do, if they do lose that streak, you know what I'm saying? That's why NoFap is a whole lot of bullshit, because it just makes everything 5 times worse if you do eventually, relapse. And speaking of, yeah, I forgot what streak, whatever fucking number I got, I don't know, 60 something, 2 months. But I think I scrolled Instagram one day, saw some girl with a fat ass probably, and yeah, I mean, the rest was history. I relapsed, and the day after that, I felt horrible, man. I felt fucking shit about myself. So what you gotta realize is, fuck NoFap, and also fuck Instagram girls. Unfollow all the thoughts, like right now. If you're still following fucking stupid hoes on Instagram, your Reddit account, your Twitter account, if you aren't unfollowing them like right this minute, then you obviously aren't serious about this, and you can click off the video. But back to NoFap, okay? So instead of worrying about how many days you've gone without jerking off, do this. Focus and prioritize other things in your life. Focus on other bigger priorities when you do this, when you have other things to do, you'll barely even have any time to think about watching porn. This is such a simple fix, and so many young guys struggle with this big time. So I started doing other things, right? So number one, I hit the gym. Number two, I started working on this YouTube channel, creating a lot of videos for you guys, and just like that, man, like when you have other bigger priorities to focus on, you'll naturally, you don't even need to focus on it, you'll naturally start watching less porn and jerking the gherkin. This happens literally naturally, so you don't even need to think about it, guys. In fact, again, like thinking about it will just make it 5 times worse. Find something to do, whether it's your favorite hobby or your job. Just take time to do something else. Because let's be real. What is the scenario that makes you watch porn in the first place? So let me fake a scenario for you. You're in your room, you're in your crusty gaming chair, you get bored because you're alone, you're not doing anything, so you whip out your phone, you start scrolling Instagram or Twitter or Reddit. You start scrolling, secretly wanting to see a particular something that gets you riled up. You know exactly what I'm talking about. When you keep on scrolling and you eventually find that thing, aka the sexy hot fucking hoe, and then your monkey brain blah 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 gets horny, you whip your cock out, and it's over. That's the exact scenario, isn't it? Because let's be real guys, you're not gonna fucking whip your cock out and start jerking off when you're cutting someone's hair, like if you're a barber or some shit. That just isn't going to happen. And what is the barber doing that you're not? He's busy, he's doing something he loves. Oh shit. Fucking car. There you go, guys, just do something you love doing, man. Find something, just do something. Like chill out with people as well, because you're not gonna watch porn if you're with other people. It's always by yourself. Always by yourself. When you're lonely, when you're bored. It's literally when you're lonely and when you're bored. That's when you whip it out. Oh, that's good tips, bro. So yeah, man. Once I started working on these YouTube videos, started the gym, whatever the fuck, being a more social person, hanging out with my friends more, hanging out with girls more, I naturally just started watching less porn, and I wasn't addicted to it anymore. So now every time I'm like, I don't know, like maybe like a year clean from porn. So yeah, man, like whenever I look at porn now on like a screen, I'm like a fucking caveman. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? And it just doesn't seem natural to me anymore. That's where I want you to be. Actually, I take that back. There's a problem with what I just said. Can you think of what it was? I looked at a pair of titties on my screen and I had no reaction. Now, have a think for a second of how that could be bad. Okay, so I remember a couple months after I pretty much fully mastered not watching porn and not being addicted to it. So at that point, anyone I looked at, like let's say like a gym girl with a fat ass or something, I completely blocked off any weird thoughts that I was having. So pretty much the gym girl with a fat ass didn't affect me at all. It didn't turn me on a single bit looking at that. Plus, you know, porn itself didn't really turn me on anymore. But that's the problem. I turned fucking asexual. I literally turned asexual, bro. I didn't even feel like jerking off anymore. I think this is two sides of the spectrum, and both are pretty bad. So you can either be addicted to porn, addicted to jerking off, and, you know, have weird thoughts about girls, you can't even approach girls, or you could be the other side of the spectrum, not be addicted to porn, but you're pretty much asexual, and probably every girl you talk to would turn into your best friend. So yeah, I've experienced both sides of the spectrum. What I'm saying is sexualization is good to a certain extent. You don't want to completely, you do want to completely block off porn. You don't ever want to watch that. But don't ever block off your sexual desire for a woman, because then you're just blocking off your natural male desire to want a female companion. Why are you trying to block that off? Don't make the same mistake I did. Don't be afraid to look at a girl and be slightly sexual to a certain extent. See, I don't want to get fucking banned and you guys are going to take me the wrong way. But it's good to be sexual to a certain extent, and also be flirty, be funny. Just don't look at them as a piece of meat, but don't look at them as a piece of cardboard either, because that's the two ways guys are going nowadays. So yeah, man. But in terms of those two issues, I'll definitely say, you know, porn addiction, over sexualization is probably a lot more common. So again, don't beat yourself up if you relapse on porn, honestly, because that will just make it way worse, and you'll start thinking about it and you'll start hating yourself. Just don't go down that rabbit hole. Just don't think about that. Instead, just focus on yourself, man, and focus on doing other things, other greater things. Go out with your friends more, make new friends, talk to girls more, do all these awesome things that puts your mind in a better place, first of all, and takes your time away so you don't even think about it. But a good place to start nonetheless is just to masturbate without watching porn at all. Just use your imagination, because your imagination is probably fried right now with all the fucking triple gangbang bukakis that you've watched. So yeah, instead of watching porn, use your imagination, because then you'll probably work on your like imagination muscle, if you know what I mean. Yeah, bro, I know porn addiction is kind of like a sensitive topic, and I know how like crappy it can be to be in that position where you just don't feel good about yourself after you watch like a 15-hour session. Holy fuck. When you don't feel good about yourself and you don't want to confront your mother because you just watched an 8-hour long bukkake session. Oh god, don't ask me how I know that. They just want us to be addicted to that shit. They literally want us to be addicted to that, just to fucking like make money off of us. Can you fucking fathom how evil that is? They literally get us addicted onto literally probably one of the worst things in the entire planet, and they make money from us. How fucked up is that, man? Fuck you, Pornhub. Fuck you, XXNX. Whatever the fuck. X videos. Fuck all of them. Fuck them. Yeah, man, I spoke about loneliness a lot in this video, but I made a free course on how, if you're like a really lonely guy right now, so you got no genuine people you can call your real friends, girls just find you disgusting, you don't have a girlfriend or anything, you don't even have like a close-knit group of, like a community to talk to like on the daily. I know that sucks, but I made a free course on how to go from that to point B, to where you do have those things and you aren't lonely anymore. Alright, so if you're interested, it will be the first link in the description below. But thank you, and don't forget to subscribe.